All right, Dave, well, obviously you made some coaching moves today. Let's start with Rivera, and the obvious question to that is why?
Look, a very hard move. Ron Rivera, besides being a good coach, is one of the finest men I've ever met in my life. I'll just say that up front. Look, I came here 2 years ago. I wanted to show patience on the football side and see how it was going. On the business side, we made vast and sweeping changes, and I didn't want to make those vast and sweeping changes on the football side. I'm going to take time and patience to see what could go and how it could go. I just thought it was time, given the way things have gone the last 2 seasons, to put my stamp on this organization on the football side, as we've done on the business side of the organization. I think, as much respect as I have for Ron, I think a change was appropriate to build things the way I want things to be built.
Why make the move now versus waiting through these final 4 games of the year?
Quite frankly, our season is not over, but as far as making the playoffs, I can make the change now, I can make it later. There's competitive reasons why I want to make sure that we were out there looking at all personnel possible for the future. I don't want to, in any way, shape, or form, didn't want to be having inquiries where Ron didn't know what I was doing. I don't want to be doing things not up front. It's just not who I am. So I'd rather be straight up and honest. If I'm going to make a change, I'm going to make a change. And not to get a competitive disadvantage over other teams. If I need to talk to people, I want to talk to them, and I want to do it in a straightforward, honest way.
So Perry Fewell will now head the team. Why choose him as your interim?
Listen, I have different coaches on the staff, and I'm looking at the future now. And the future is who may I have as potential candidates for different roles. Perry is a person who can command a room in my mind, can be a general. And I think that he is the right person to have that interim role, and frankly to be auditioning in a sense for that role in the future, versus as well as other folks that we will be searching for and looking for. As far as the other choice we'll probably make is to make Scott Turner a play caller, offensive coordinator. In that respect, the same thing. We want to just see what Scott can do. I want to see what Scott can do in that respect. Again, in an audition sort of way, and see how he does it. He has, some new ideas, and we'll see how they get implemented.
So that's why Norv Turner's now special assistant?
Norv Turner, which still has, obviously, is a tremendously knowledgeable coach, and who I respect a lot and actually like a lot. Yeah, I think that. Scott is, Norv has been around. He's very knowledgeable. Scott is potentially a future, offensive coordinator of some sort. And why not just see what he has to offer here?
What will you be looking for in a head coach in 2020?
What I want, and just for the organization in general, is a mesh of old and new. Old football discipline, modern processes, modern analytics, statistics, and the rest of that. But I respect old school discipline too. I mean, listen, I was with a team that was the epitome of, in Pittsburgh, with the epitome of old school discipline. So I want to see that brought in. I want to see that mesh. And what I want to have more than anything, and you can appreciate this because you've seen it on the business side, I want to put the best people in the best positions to be successful. In coaching positions, eventually, and I want those coaches to put our players on the field in the best positions to be successful, period. Now look, this whole process, they don't build Rome in a day. People think if I make a magic change today, it's going to make the organization better tomorrow. It is not, okay? This is going to be a process.
So also today you announced you're going to add an assistant GM / VP of football operations. What can someone like that help add?
Marty Herney is one of the best recognizers of college talent in the nation, period. Okay, I don't want to lose that. And he's also not a bad manager. There's also new processes that I want to bring in. I think that the modern football organization needs a couple people there. And if I was looking in the future, I would have, if I'm looking at the manager in the future and looking at who's going to be there in the future, and Marty is more senior. If I brought somebody else in, it could be a potential GM. And if that person was more involved in, on the scientific side or the analytics side, and just interfacing with the business side, just like on the business side, I brought in not only a president but a COO. This is a COO. Okay, because the organization, a football organization, needs more than just one man to be successful.
A couple weeks ago, you told a bunch of us in a media roundtable you weren't going to accept long-term mediocrity. What does today mean for your vision going in 2020 and beyond for that?
Listen, today's a very difficult day for me personally. Like I said, I have a tremendous admiration for Rivera. I just want to say that again. I'll say that. But as far as the process is concerned, it's the first step in a process of making sure we have a standard of excellence on all sides of this business, period.